can you actually play the Coco-inspired guitar-shaped popcorn bucket from the 2024 Pixarfest at Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure Parks? I aim to find out. For this experiment, I've hooked up a cheap piezo contact pickup to the top of the guitar, and I have that connected to a Positive Grid Spark Mini amp. And all this is just to help you hear better these tiny little strings that they got on here, and maybe add a little more fun to it. So the first thing I noticed is it does have tuning pegs, but they're very stiff and not all of them quite function properly. This what would be your typical B string on a guitar. It just doesn't handle tension. As soon as I turn it, it just goes right back to where it wants to be. It just does not want to leave its comfort zone, much like myself. I understand. The other thing is, when I played this against a tuner, the spot that all these strings want to be is either G flat or B flat. So you're not going to get much more out of that. If you go too tense, they're just not going to hold the tension. If you go too loose, they're just going to buzz like crazy. So you're not going to be able to tune this like a standard guitar. But I did notice that the fret spacing does provide some decent approximation of your notes if you wanted to play it just one string at a time. So you can get some basic melodies out of that. You're just you're not gonna be able to play too many chords unless you fiddle around a bit with the tuning pegs, and maybe you might find a couple strings that might work together okay. But for the most part, it's not gonna hold any tuning. So this is mostly probably gonna be a one string type of instrument. Now, I'm not sure how this is sounding just coming from my my collar mic. So I'm going to put the mic by the amp so you could hear a little bit better. So one thing I noticed that I guess the pitch that these strings like to be at, kind of on this particular guitar, sound like it wants to play a really creepy and sad version of Happy Birthday if I was to strum these strings one at a time. Please don't invite me to that birthday party. I don't want to be there. I don't want to go to that birthday party. And don't offer me cake. Because if you offer me cake, I will be there. but I really don't want to be. Don't put me in that position. So, in conclusion, you could kind of play it. It has strings. It makes noise. You could single out individual notes along the fretboard, but don't expect this to be your first guitar. You might want to choose a guitar that's not a popcorn bucket. So, if there was a playable guitar with a popcorn bucket, I'd buy that. Somebody, start a Kickstarter. I want a popcorn bucket guitar that I can play. I love music, and I love snacking.